How we doing, people? It's your boy Bry, and we're out here today and we're getting the fenders painted and we're getting them done, and we're saying to ourselves, epoxy primer is the answer today. And the paint we use is a urethane single stage, and it's the same thing I painted my truck frame with. It's a very durable surface. It's a very hard surface. It's a surface that says when you throw a rock at me or any kind of maybe a shovel handle, I'm going to be able to withstand for the most part. But let's take a look at what your boy Bry did, because you know I did it, and I did it right today. Even though you see the skies are in and out. It's in and out of clouds. It's in and out of blue sky. It was a little more blue sky earlier, but let's take a look at what your boy Bry's got. Oh, ho, ho! Take a look at that gloss on that. Woo! And let me tell you, that's got 2 coats of epoxy primer. We're using a Shopline series paint. Look how nice this Harbor Freight gun laid this down. Now I know it's just diamond plate, and you say to yourself, my friend Bry, why are you trying to make this thing literally shine like a true trailer queen, so to speak? And if you don't know what a trailer queen is, go on Google and check it out. It's basically people that just build a car to leave it on a trailer. They don't ever drive them. But no, this here is a situation that says we want it to start out nice, and we want it to be looking good and representing the best that we can do, people. And the best that we can do, it should be representative of the best that you can do. So as you see, I laid it down. I laid it down nice. I took my time. Now you say to yourself, my friend Bry, where did you learn to do that? Where did you learn to do all these different things on the metal and making sure that it's not going to rust through easily? Like some of these trailer companies, they just put a quick paint job on them. They don't really prep the surface properly. As you can see down at the bottom, there's sand down there, people. That is sandblaster sand, and what I did was I pulled off the gray mill scale that's on the metal when you buy it. This was new metal, and when you pull it off, you then prep it. You clean it with some. I cleaned it with acetone, and then you go ahead and put your good epoxy primer, which bites into the metal and holds on for dear life. You wait the time that it takes. You have to, when you're mixing that, people, you have to wait the appropriate amount of time. You don't just mix the paint, put it in there, and spray it. It's like a 15-minute, if I'm correct, a 15-minute, like a staging point that you have to wait. Mix it really good and use a paint strainer. But you got to give everything that you're doing the best chance at success. Now what I did also, let's take a look. At the bottom of the trailer, last year I welded these plates on for the tailgate, and it was last minute deal, and I couldn't really quite get to it. The weather was too cold, so what I did was I came in here with the sandblaster and I cleaned all the little welds up, and then we went through and epoxy primered them, and then we hit it with the high gloss black single stage. Now I'm not worried about inside there yet. I'm not quite ready for that. When I put the trailer fenders on, people, I'm going to go ahead and respray the whole side all at once. As you see, I've got to put seam sealer in here all the way down, and I want to fill in these triangles right here. I want to fill them in, and what I did was I put this plate on here, and this is like an L plate, and I've welded it in so that the sides have a little more rigidity. And I'm also going to, like I said, I'm going to fill that plate in. Then I'm going to go through and I'm going to drill a couple spots just for throwing some fluid film down in there, even though behind that's all been epoxy primered and stuff. But let's take a look at what your boy Bry's got here and what he's got going. As you see, I'm using a Shopline product. It's a very good product. It's a PPG product. It's a product that says you won't have to revisit this. This is not a situation where you're putting on a rattle can, so to speak. Now, I can't take all the credit for this because your friend Bry has went to, like we were talking about earlier, what did I do? Did I go to school for this? Well, in a sense I did, because I got on a page of my friend Pete, DIY school, what is he? The DIY Auto School. Your boy Bry's DIY School of Hard Knocks, because I learned the hard way. But as you can see, he gives you all the tips and tricks if you need to know how to paint. It's Southwest Rod and Customs, my friend Pete, and he definitely does it right. But he gives you all the, how do I put it, the horse sense on how to do this when other people will try to hold this knowledge and they'll try to say to themselves, let's try to make it difficult for people, where he does just the opposite. He tries to make it simple. Now, you say to yourself, this is your paint gun? A Central Pneumatic, a Harbor Freight? Well, this is one of them. I have a DeVilbiss setup, but this one here was on sale, and to be honest with you, it's not so much the gun, it's how you set it up and who's spraying it. Your air pressures. Now, I always use one of these air traps, or the water traps here, rather, on my guns, and this has a little gauge on how much pressure you're going to want when it's coming into the gun, so forth. And of course, you're going to use the right needle. This is a paint needle, and the needle that's in there is an epoxy, like a primer needle. And I always hook these up, and I clean them real good when I'm done. And that's the key, right? So as you see, I have some acetone here. But here's the real true situation. Get you some carbon choke cleaner. This will save you a ton of time when you're cleaning up at the end. I normally take the bowl and I put a little cleaner in there, like some acetone or even some reducer, and just shake it around and then pull the trigger and let it kind of come out through the gun. But when I'm all done and I pull the parts apart, this is what I use. And you say, well, that's expensive to be using that. Not really. It's like $5 or $6, and then you get quite a few cleanings out of this. I mean, I use that stuff for everything. But the other thing I want to show you is, here's the gray epoxy primer. This is the number on it. It's JP375. It's an epoxy primer. And they have an epoxy primer hardener that goes with it. This is a J3770. And the other thing that you can put in it is a reducer, which is the JR506. You can use any reducer, but this is the where I happen to buy it, is what they had was that one there. And also you can see I have a universal urethane reducer, which is your JR5570. Shopline series is a lower end PPG, but I'll say this, you couldn't prove it by me. It's pretty good. It's pretty good stuff. And then here's my other stuff I've got here. As you see, I've got the JAU. This is your Shopline series, and it's a JAU1. A PPG Platinum distributor sells these. You can't just go to any PPG distributor. They need to be a Platinum distributor. And this is the code I used, 9300. But anyway, this is the high gloss black single stage. It's good for frames. It's good for touch-ups and stuff like that. It's way better than like a Rust-Oleum. This stuff here is very durable. It's got a good shell to it, so to speak. But yeah, that's the gun I used right there, the set, Central Pneumatic. Now, prepping the surface on the sides of the trailers and on the mill scale, I do have a huge, I don't say huge, but it's a good size. It's a 110 pound sandblaster. Now that one there was giving me some issues. So what I did was I went over to Harbor Freight. I had one of these a while back, a red one, and I can't find it. I don't know what happened to it. Maybe it grew a set of legs and walked off. I don't know. But at some point you have to say to yourself, how much is your time worth on a beautiful day? Because at the end of the day, you can't keep looking for something on a $20 item. So I went over there, and I'm kind of glad I did, because let me show you the difference. And this one works a lot better than my old one. Look what they put in here. They put a screen in there for screening the media. And what that does for you people is it gives you a better chance of that thing not plugging up or clogging up. Now, what I always use with this, I always use a water trap, okay? I always use that. This is a Merlin one from Harbor Freight, but I always put a water trap on there before I do anything with it, and it keeps the sand dry. And all your guns, even though my big compressor, I have a big Ingersoll Rand, it has a oil trap, and it has a water separator. It has all that on it. It's just another protection that says, you're trying to keep the water from your paint, your primers, your sandblaster. But that little gun, believe it or not, on those fenders, I think I filled it up 4 times per fender. And that just peels the mill scale off, the little bit of rust if it's got only little, it's new steel, but if it has a little spot here or there, it comes right off. It's a slower process than the big one, but the media that I put in there, I had left over from my sandblaster. It's a sanding blasting box. It's in the garage. It stays in the garage. And I said I'm going to change that sandblast media out and buy brand new for it. And it's like $70 for I think it's a pretty good sized bag, but it's like 70 bucks. So, you know, it's a cost that says, do you want to prep it right? Or do you want to have just kind of do it half-ass and then have it peeling and blistering a year or 2 later? I'd rather just spend the money up front and get the right sandblasting media. Now, I did go to Harbor Freight, or excuse me, I went to Tractor Supply and they had some, it was like little black, it was a black media blasting, but it was real coarse. It was like a coal, they call it a coal, and it just didn't work in either of the guns, so I took that, and it's basically, I had 2 bags, so I took the other bag back, and the other one I just kind of threw in the woods because it's no good. It won't fit. I don't know what blasting gun they're using it with. I even tried it in my big one, it just wouldn't send it. So we wound up taking that little gun, and I used that along the sides of the trailer too, on the back where all the welds were. I went in there with that gun and just blasted. You could see the rust coming right off on any of the little welds. I do need to put some seam sealer in there. I've already spoke about that, but I just tried to take a day that said it's kind of nice out, even though it's a little cooler out. It's maybe 55, 60 degrees. I used a fast hardener in the urethane black, the single stage. And let's take another look at the... But, you know, here's the thing. You're never going to do anything if you don't try. And you're going to fail from time to time. But you know what? The more you do things, the more confidence you get, the better you can try in life. And you, like I said in the beginning, you can't wait for the weatherman to tell you when you're going to do something, because otherwise you'd be waiting forever. Now, I did throw an up 10 up just to make sure, you know, if I got a sprinkle or two in the meantime while it was drying. I got 2 coats on there, people. It looks really, really nice, and at the end of the day, I'm happy with it, you know, and that's all that really matters, is that I'm happy with it. Now, I did paint underneath. I got underneath it real good too, and it just takes time. This piece of wood here I found at a local tractor supply place. Not Tractor Supply, they supply different tractors and equipment, and they always throw skids out, and I said, let me use that just to support these, and when I'm done, I'll throw it on the burn pile. But as you see, I covered up my equipment, moved my vehicles back. The other one's out by the road. I got everything out of the way because, you know, you don't want overspraying your windshields and paint and so forth. But that's the deal, and if you think you can accomplish something like this, go for it, you know. And you'll come to the same conclusion I did. It doesn't take, you don't have to spend thousands of dollars on paint guns and all that. You don't need a gun that costs you $1,000 to do what I just did. This is a $35, $40 kit, maybe $60 if it's without the coupon. And here's some of the products that I used. Now, I did use a strainer. I always use strainers. And if you take a look in here, this is what you're dealing with sometimes. There's different sludge and different little pieces in there that can gum up your paint job, and gets in the gun and the needle, and it can mess up a nice paint job. And you know, this stuff isn't cheap, people. This stuff here is kind of pricey. It's automotive stuff. As you know, I'm working on an 86 Dodge Ram, and I'm trying to get that ready. But, you know, at the end of the day, your paint job is your prep job. And if you're not prepping it right and using good products, then how can you bitch and moan and complain afterwards when it's not, you know, not looking as good or peeling later a year or so down the road? But I always use the measuring cups. Now, my friend Pete says that you can turn around and ask them when you're buying all this product, hey, can I get some of these cups? But the dealer I have, he looked at you like you're nuts. But I did use a respirator. Now, I got this one from Harbor Freight. This is a paint and body one. Works really nice, seals really good around your face. Even though I have a little beard going, it still seals really good. Now, this one here let me show you about this. I ordered these off Amazon. And what these are, when you get a can of paint and you say to yourself, boy, I hate pulling the lid on and off, you know? I hate doing that because it sticks so much. If you get one of these, this here, you can actually, it stays on the can. These little tabs go underneath and there's a seal on there and it seals it, and you don't have all the paint running down the can. But this here, before you use it, you can, there's like a whisk in there, and it turns all the paint. It's hard to do with one hand, but because it's not quite full, it's half full. But you can spin it, and then when you're done, when you're ready to pour, you just pinch this and it pulls the slider back, and you pour what you need and it reseals it. Now that's a really good tool that I wish I would have known about a while ago, but again, my friend Pete hooked us up with that, and he said that's a situation that can help you. But the other thing I wanted to show you was, this had a hard hat in it. If you're doing any sandblasting, I got that at Harbor Freight. That's a good deal because it doesn't get in your eyes and all over your ears and your hair. Try to get sand out of your hair. That's not too easy, people. But I pulled the hard hat out because that's kind of ridiculous anyway. A hard hat inside there just makes it worse. But that's the deal. That's what your boy Bry's got going on, and that is actually my tailgate that I'm using for staging up as a table. But as you see, I cover my four-wheeler up because I don't want paint on that. But boy, that cover there has served me well. My friend found a lady online one time and ordered those, and I think we paid $65 for it. I wish I could find a couple more like that because they work really good. I even covered my zero turn with it a few times. But that's the situation, people. It's a beautiful day. It's a day that says it's windy. And you see the up tent moving around, you say, how is that staying stable? How is that not blowing away, my friend Bry? Well, what I did is I put what I call these big nails. They're about, I don't know, 8 to 10 inches long. You can find them at the hardware store. I don't like using those tent stakes because they don't hold. They just don't hold. But these ones here, they hold. Like I said, they're about 8 to 10 inches long. You can get them at any Lowe's or Home Depot. But that's what I use to hold my tent down. And I used to leave an up tent up all the time on my property, but with the rain getting on it, it winds up destroying the top and crushing them and ripping them apart. So, and I know they're only $59, $60, somewhere in there, but now what I do is I just take them down every time I'm done with them and put them away, and it seems to be they're lasting quite a bit longer. But that's your boy Bry, and he's out here showing you how to get the diamond plate ready so that they don't just sit around and rust, because it looks like I got about a month's worth of work coming up and I'm gonna be gone. So I wanted to get these on and get them done. Now when I put these on the trailer, I'm gonna mock them up, and we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna just have to grind some of that back, so we'll have to repaint them. And when we do, we're gonna repaint the whole side of the we're gonna repaint the whole side when we're done. But this is your boy Bry. We got to get on down the road, but we are definitely happy that we got these fenders done. Remember, as long as you get your confidence up higher than a midget's knees, you can do pretty much anything.